Hey guys, in today's video I'll be doing a very major tropical update on Hurricane Eta, which is really explosively intensified ever since, really, honestly I gotta say ever since last night, going through now. And all throughout today, it has just continued to explosively intensify to the point where now, as of the new advisory at 4 p.m. that just came out, it is now a 130 mile per hour Category 4 hurricane. Pressure is now down to 948 millibars. It is moving now west-southwest at 9 miles per hour. And it is now officially forecast to make landfall in Nicaragua as a 150 mile per hour Category 4 hurricane. That's very, very close to the storm being Category 5, for the storm being a Category 5 storm. Because Category 5 intensity starts at any storm having wind speed greater than 157 miles per hour. So if it gets 150 miles per hour, that's only 7 miles per hour away from it officially being Category 5. So I would not at all put it past the system to potentially become a Category 5 hurricane. So we really got to watch this one closely. Here is the current cone forecast from the National Hurricane Center, and you can see that they're forecasting continue to go to the west-southwest and then make landfall in the north-central coast of Nicaragua, where hurricane warnings are in effect. There is also tropical storm warnings, hurricane watches and tropical storm watches in effect for the southern coast of Honduras. And between Nicaragua and Honduras, and even up and towards Belize, it will, once Eta makes landfall, it will bring very, very heavy rainfall, where rainfall totals could be as high as up towards near 40 inches in some spots, on top of storm surge amounts along that northern coast of Nicaragua, near where the storm will make landfall. Storm surge amounts could be as high as between 12 to 18 feet. So that's gonna most likely cause this system to be the strongest and worst disaster this hurricane season by far, and it likely will end up being, I think, our worst disaster, worst tropical cyclone for this year's hurricane season in the Atlantic. And I mean, it's crazy already, the fact that on top of which, because this storm was made this year's hurricane season of 2020 in the Atlantic officially tie the 2005 Atlantic hurricane season for record total of named storms at 28. So that is truly insane. But you can see, as we move forward in time throughout the next, going towards between 3 to 5 days from now, according to this cone, Eta's center and Eta could generally start to curve back towards the north and northeast, back up over towards the Western Caribbean, and back over water. So that's very, very interesting, something we're definitely really going to have to watch. So, this storm seems to not want to officially die out after making landfall here in Nicaragua and affect Nicaragua, Honduras, Belize, and just the very central countries of Central America. So that's very, very disturbing, to say the least. Here's the tropical storm force wind speed probabilities. Up to 100% chance for sure that they're going to see tropical storm force wind speeds. I mean, they're likely just about to start seeing those effects. So that's pretty much definitely a certainty. Here's the hurricane force wind speed probabilities. You can see even that, especially for, of course, the Nicaragua coast mainly, is already up towards between 70 to 80% chance of hurricane force wind speeds, and they'll definitely see hurricane force wind speeds anyway. So this is looking to be a very, very dangerous, life-threatening storm. People living in Nicaragua and Honduras, and even getting up towards Guatemala, Belize, you guys really need to make sure you are prepared as possible for this storm, so you don't lose your life to any kind of flooding or wind damage, because this will also probably be a pretty big wind damage event as well, with how strong this storm is. So there is a look at your wind speed probabilities. Here's the arrival time of tropical storm force winds, and you can see they're pretty much going to be starting to feel that by later this evening, in the next few hours, by this evening at like 8 p.m. That's when some parts of the Nicaragua coastline could start seeing tropical storm force winds, and then moving overnight tonight towards Tuesday, 2 a.m. You can see it moves even farther inland, including parts of the southern coast of Honduras. So winds and the conditions will continue to go rapidly downhill, and the conditions especially will continue to go rapidly downhill moving forward from now through tonight into tomorrow. So really, really, my heart goes out to everyone living down there, truly. It's a really terrifying thing that's unfolding right now for this storm. Now I want to show you the forecast cone from from the Weather Channel that they're showing with the wind speeds, and you can see between now and when it makes landfall, it doesn't really show it here, but it is. But now officially, as of the 4 p.m. advisory, Eta is officially expected to peak at a 150 mile per hour Category 4, as I said in the beginning of this video, right before landfall. So that is very close to it being a Category 5 storm. So we'll really have to see between now and later this evening what it does with its intensity. So that is going to be very, very interesting to watch. Now, let me see if I can. You can see here's the rainfall map. That's actually a really important thing to show here because you can see lots of areas could see up towards a foot or more of rainfall, especially northern Honduras, where they could see up towards 1.5 to 2 feet plus of rainfall. Some local areas could see as high as up towards 30 to 40 inches of rainfall. So that's very, very worrying and very disastrous. Now let's go to tropical tidbits, and before I show you the satellite imagery, I want to show you this aircraft recon mission, and you can see it actually did turn around because they've been having some extreme difficulties with the planes and getting the recon planes out into the storm. So we're going to have to really wait a while for recon to really fly back into the storm and give us some actual good, accurate readings on this current storm's intensity in terms of wind speeds and pressure. So it really sucks we aren't able to get any recon in the storm right now, because the storm is really an important storm to really get accurate measurings from. Because you can see with the satellite imagery, it is looking fantastic. It has a pinhole eye, and which means that it has a very, very small eye, very small center. And I believe that the eye currently is only around 5 nautical miles wide. So it's a very, very small, compact eye with, you can see, negative 90-degree cloud tops forming and blowing up all around the center. So this storm is definitely not looking to slow down in intensity. It is continuing to really blow up in intensity. So it's going to be really interesting to see if we're able to even get any recon planes out there into the storm and see what the next advisories will show for this storm. Now, here's another important thing I want to show you guys. The model intensity guidance. Look at this. It's Category 4 now, weak Category 4 at 130 miles per hour. Of course, 130 mile per hour Category 4 is still going to do tons and tons of damage. Doesn't even matter. But you can see some of the models still have it strengthening from this point forward, and that's reflected on the current forecast track from the National Hurricane Center. And you can see even a couple of models take it all the way towards Category 5 status. So again, I'm saying that a Category 5 intensity is not out of the question. Some of the intensity models have that as being potentially happening for this system. So we really, really got to watch that very, very closely. Now, here is the hurricane model track guidance. You can see that a majority of the models have it hitting Nicaragua and then curving back towards the going directly west and then curving back towards the northwest and north, and then curving even all the way to the north and east, back up over the Western Caribbean and then towards Cuba, which is very interesting. So we're going to really have to watch that very, very closely. Here is the 12Z run of the GEFS ensemble model track guidance. You can see same story. It's going to hit Nicaragua and then curve back towards the north and east and then go towards Cuba. So we're going to have to really, really see if that does occur, because that'll be a very, very interesting outcome, and a lot more areas could see a pretty big wrath from this system as well. Here is the 12Z GEPS. This is the CMC ensemble model track guidance, and you can see it kind of shows generally the same story, but shows the storm a lot weaker and doesn't have as great a handle on it. So don't really look at this this kind of forecast from the CMC ensembles that seriously. So really just look at the general hurricane ensemble model track guidance and GEFS ensemble model track guidance. That's going to be the really main important part of this. All right, now let's show you what the GFS and CMC models are showing in terms of rainfall and just the general the general where the storm is and everything. So you can see there's the storm right there. Moving forward in time, you can see it'll continue to drop down to the to the south and west, and it'll hit Nicaragua and Honduras, bring very, very heavy rainfall. And then you can see the GFS shows it emerging back over the Western Caribbean, and its center seems to still be there. So that means the system may survive and still be Eta. And that's a really big question, though, for this system. Though once it does make landfall and go over Nicaragua, Honduras, we'll have to really watch and see if the true center of the storm can stay compact, or if it dies off and a new center forms with the rest of that remnant precipitation. Because if a new center forms, then that would potentially mean that we could see theta form from the remnants of Eta, which would be insane. And you can see as we move forward with the GFS, and shows it wrapping back around into the Western Caribbean and then moving into the Gulf and then hitting the Gulf Coast there. So that's very interesting. We'll have to watch that very closely. It's going to be a very interesting next week to when we're continuing to watch this storm. So yeah, again, that's very, very interesting. Now let's bring this forward in time, and let's show you what the GFS is thinking in terms of total accumulated precipitation. You can see the GFS is thinking, again, up towards 2 feet plus rainfall totals for the northern parts of Nicaragua, the northern parts of Honduras, even into Guatemala and Belize. So it's going to be widespread, damaging amounts of and destructive amounts of rainfall, which will cause most likely lots of mudslides and landslides, which could cause even more destruction and devastation. So it's going to be this storm is going to be very, very dangerous no matter how you put it. No matter really, at this point, no matter how strong the storm is, I think no matter how strong the storm is, it's going to be a very, very dangerous system for in the end for these areas. So that's what the GFS is showing in terms of total rainfall. Now let's show you what the CMC model is showing in terms of total rainfall. You can see generally same story, maybe even a bit more widespread with that amount of 2+ feet of rainfall even. Again, as well for the Nicaragua and Honduras, northern parts of Nicaragua and Honduras there, near the coast where the storm makes landfall in Nicaragua, and the northern parts of Honduras as the storm moves inland and weakens and brings all that heavy rainfall there. And even as well shows some potential of up to 2+ feet of rainfall for Belize and Guatemala as well. So very, very dire outlook from the GFS and CMC for total rainfall. Now let's show you what the European model is showing in terms of the storm moving in towards Nicaragua and Honduras. You can see there's the vorticity, very, very tight vorticity. It will continue to be that way as it moves into Nicaragua and Honduras. It'll start to die off, but then you can see the European has it move back up over Western Caribbean and then really reform and become much, much stronger. It's very, very interesting and very dire as well from what the European model is showing. So we're really, really going to have to watch this system very, very closely. This is a very dangerous looking system. So for potentially a very widespread amount of areas, potentially not even just for some of the Central American countries. So we're really, again, going to have to watch this system extremely closely. All right, now here's the 2020 Atlantic Hurricane Season Wikipedia page. And as you can see, we have had a very record-breaking, and I mean, I'm sure you guys already know this, we've had a extremely record-breaking and insane hurricane season. We've had a total of 29 depressions, 28 total named storms, which makes this hurricane season, again, officially tie 2005 for the record high amount of total named storms for any hurricane season on record. 12 total hurricanes so far this season, which I think only 4 other hurricane seasons have had an end total of 12 total hurricanes by the end of the hurricane season. So that's extremely insane as well. And now with a bit of, Eta, of course, extremely exploding into a major hurricane, we've had now 5 total major hurricanes so far this hurricane season. So that's truly insane. I don't think anyone was really expecting, honestly, Eta to behave the way it has. So that's really, really insane. And you can see even at the end of this paragraph here, it says, on the last day of October, another tropical depression formed and later strengthened into Hurricane Eta, which is presently taking aim at Central America. So, yeah, again, the storm is looking very dire, very, very dangerous. You can see Category 4, very short amount of time. It strengthened from, in fact, it set a record, I think, for forming from a tropical storm to a Category 4 hurricane, the amount of time it did. And, around 36 hours, maybe just under 36 hours. It's insane. It's it's unbelievable. Um, in fact, I think it might have even formed into from a tropical storm to Category 4 hurricane even under maybe around 24 hours. So, yeah, because they formed into, oh no, it's 36 hours. It should be around 36 hours. So, but in any case, again, it's very, very insane. Just truly, truly insane. And you can see total ACE values now. The hurricane season is at 142.6075 units, which means we are just about only um, 2 to 3 or so ACE values away from officially declaring this hurricane season a truly hyperactive hurricane season according to official ACE measures. So, and I think Eta will officially get us to that point. So that's truly insane. So yeah, again, this hurricane season is not something to play around with at all from what we've seen all throughout. So you can see here's this like satellite imagery from just around now. You can see there's that very small eye. The storm is massive, honestly, kind of with that cloud cover. But you can see the very core of the system is very small in and around that center of that very, very small eye. And yeah, you can see hurricane warnings, hurricane watches, tropical storm warnings, and tropical storm watches are all in effect for Honduras, Nicaragua. So it's a very dangerous system, to say the least. And yeah, again, it's affected the ABC Islands, Jamaica, and now it's going to really affect Central America. And yeah, it's going to be insane. The total damage for Zeta apparently is now at around, or maybe a little more than $1.5 billion in damage. I still feel like that's kind of low for the system, honestly, with the amount of storm surge and wind damage it did to southeastern Louisiana and coastal Mississippi and Alabama. So I don't know what exactly how that's adding up, but in any case, it was a pretty damaging storm in the end for Zeta. But again, Eta will also likely be a very, very damaging and destructive storm in any case as well. So that's very, very interesting, and we're really gonna have to watch the system again moving forward very closely. I will continue to give you guys daily updates on Eta because of how dangerous the system is looking. But this is really the last true day of you guys in Central America to be able to get ready. In fact, by now, by this point, you guys should be as prepared as you can possibly be for this storm because weather conditions will really continue to go very far downhill moving forward, especially going into later this evening and overnight tonight. So, yeah, hopefully you guys really enjoyed this video. This is it for today's video, guys. Really hope you enjoyed this update on Hurricane Eta, which is a very, very dangerous and very just a very dangerous hurricane, Category 4 hurricane now, 130 mile per hour Category 4 hurricane, and it looks to continue to intensify from what it looks like with the satellite imagery and everything. So it's just very, very heartbreaking to see this. Hopefully we can get recon planes out into the storm again soon, so we can really get some good official accurate measures on the current status of the system with wind speed and pressure. But honestly, without the recon, we've generally been pretty well off with the system. We've just continued to be upping the system in terms of intensity, and I mean, it's really reflecting that, so it's pretty insane. But again, really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, if you found it informative, enjoyable, if you did, please consider liking the video, commenting on the video. If you are a first-time viewer and you like what you saw on today's video, if you like this kind of content, I do tons of this tropical content on my channel, so please consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.